We gonna try it today like this, my geniuses. This is the test run of the preview recording lives podcast. That's what we're doing right now. Everybody, we put it wherever you want. This is the test run. We gonna see what it is, and we gonna give them 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes, and that's it. We gonna test it out. You can throw it back there, throw it however, wherever we can catch it at.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there you go.
Another brand. I would just leave it there.
What barbecue we doing? He's like, I got the internet with you.
How to use the device.
Where's the yacht? Where we going?
Yacht. So much.
Feel like he's ready to go to a little from a yacht ride from Wall Street to La Marina, my nigga. Real quick. You put all the remotes? Where am I gonna put them?
Whatever you want.
I don't know.
This is your table today.
Right in here?
Yeah. We're gonna take. Put that on the camera, right? Whatever you want to do, my nigga.
You gotta turn that off. Everything's good? No, it's gonna do it this way. What?
Can you guys tell me if anything looks messy, if we should be moving and stuff this way, left, like this?
I got you right now. You gotta be looking at it.
Claro, esta es la foundation. This is where it all begins. Dame huele loco. Never be hazing. I can't talk about nothing that I got going on without talking about that.
One of these?
Yeah. You should have one over there. Okay, yeah, there's another one. No, you got another one somewhere. Oh, it might be over there. I look right there. Should I put that?
That one, I'll put it. Legendary Farms.
That's the underground brand.
Where you at in Jersey?
In Fairfield.
Yeah. That's my favorite. The real Nas.
Anything else?
Sí, pero ya los chamaquitos no les importa esa vaina, loco. Los chamaquitos lo que les gusta is the strong purple gelato, smell of candy shit. I like them all. I just like them all. I'm just,
You can just hang out right there. Yeah, sure. Be easy for you. The other guys that can sit here too.
Chulería en bote. Life chasing this.
Coño, todo loco que yo caí atrás para caer en esta vaina, loco. Cogiendo lucha con tantos tigres, loco.
Yo, we from the era with Blackwork.
Where you from? Where you from uptown?
172 in Broadway.
172 in Broadway. Chang and all that over there, right?
Well, Chang is on 176.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 172.
Eco,
Knockout,
yeah. Knockout was on 172. And 172nd, that were the twins. Eso son mi pana. Porfirio and Max, my brother.
Next Angie Fried Chicken, when Angie Fried Chicken was there.
Leo, their brother, Leo, and their oldest brother.
Rodaste para Jersey, imagino que rodaste mucho, loco.
No, bro, I spent 3 years in Colorado.
It's fun, man.
Time in the
We need to talking to the mic.
Half of my life.
The mic is offside to him.
The height, the Bronx, Jersey, Colorado.
To your right.
Espérate, sí, espérate.
He talks loud.
This is actually brilliant. I like that we know nothing and we know very little what you sent us because we can ask. That's what I want. I want to be able to ask.
No, in the history
You know,
goes
he's like 6
crazy.
waters.
Like,
You don't get more water. But I don't want too many
you know,
on the table.
if we wanna start from like the tip of the beginning, my family was from the Wild Cowboy era.
Yeah.
So we come from hearing those stories.
Sure.
And tú me entiendes, and being around that environment and that whole little scene. I'm obviously from the generation way after that.
Wow.
But I think that's where the root starts.
We're about the same age, how old are you?
38.
Yeah.
41.
Yeah. Same shit, bro. You was coming uptown and cop to take it to Patterson. I know how that shit goes.
It's not showing.
I know.
Okay, we'll come back here.
Yourself, bro.
They can't talk about Hayes and Patterson without talking about me.
There you go. That's the whole point. The whole point is
And that's a fact.
that's the one thing. If you look at, that's the one thing we caught. Mad Jersey niggas. And an enormous. I was on 156 with you over there. An enormous amount of Jersey niggas. Hard. The niggas was coming and doubling up. The most of them. Well, at the time there was no ounce. Niggas was, they wasn't gonna whatever they had in dimes. You're not getting that. There's no way. You know what I mean? He was not getting whatever they had in the dubs and the dimes. And you lucky if they sold you an ounce or something. Of something. You ain't got an ounce of something. But the niggas used to thumb and buy the 20s. And the niggas used to be like, nah, I'm coming to sell these shit for $34.
We're gonna have to you have a lot of stuff in front of you. We're gonna just space it out so you're not used to your faces in color.
All right. Yeah, no, y'all could.
However you want, bro. It's a big ass table. Yeah.
Brother, take it one category at a time, right?
Tranquilo, mano.
I'm just gonna be walking around. I won't be sitting over here.
Yo vi a Kevin el otro día ahí que estaba en un evento ahí en Red Bull event, los raperos Rap Batalla.
Yo, tú viste el artículo que yo te mandé.
En Brooklyn,
Sí,
yeah.
eso le mandé a David también.
Saturday. Estaba con Riggs Morales.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Esa
bueno, ¿verdad?
trabajo.
Yeah,
Ese caballero.
sí, es fire. Después se le cobra su hobby vaina.
Del artículo. Del video que pasó.
The bag, right? The bag.
Lidero, my brother, lidero.
Right here in front of the ashtray. Are they right behind the ashtray?
Yes,
We're rolling tray. Go into it.
Same
Brother, should we
day.
keep it open? The bag?
What's up, too?
The smells make you full. Te da una vibra de hablar.
Con
bonito.
Lungari ahí, de
Como
eso.
tú quieras.
Yo.
Grandfather action?
It's gonna get smoky.
No, not even, but you just pulled a bat, though.
Yeah, it's just gonna be smoky.
Yo, that hay smells amazing,
It's good
dog.
because I haven't really smoked today, and this is really gonna be, this doesn't put me to sleep.
Yeah.
I like it.
This way.
Ay, bien, la que le
You gotta, put it, you gotta kind of put it the other way though, because that's the zip.
If you want to see the Ziploc.
Yeah, let me show you how this device
Yeah,
works.
we can't because it's the Ziploc tag.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I would want to though, to be honest. I mean, you can just leave it like that, bro.
You heard? Let me show you how this
If
works.
they see that
now,
little pink
but
strip
not
on the top,
get
they
too
know.
into that,
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah.
'cause it takes a little minute.
Yeah, I'm asking again anyway.
Ponle vibrate, ponle
You
vibrate.
guys are, what's it called, man? Pick it up and smell it, do the whole shit anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll just leave it here for the start of the episode. But this is where it will live. Are you going to hit it or you got enough space for it?
What is it?
You got enough space?
Yeah.
Let's switch to
I think it's gonna lock it down.
Pon el clutch, eh.
Eso quítalo, quítalo.
No, we
Just lay it down. That's fine. We'll fucking bring it up.
We'll put it right here.
Put it in the box. We'll bring it out. Don't worry. I'll ask about it. I'm not gonna not ask about hey, trust me.
Yeah, word,
This will be a
bro.
surprise to pull out.
Tenés que traer un tremor que trimea una onza, una vainita chiquita. The good old days.
Let me show you how this works real quick, right?
Press it one
time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everything else is
The
extra.
light flashes.
You
That's
got the
3
light
here.
right here?
So when the light turns off, that means it's ready to go. You hold it and inhale. So it's a dab already in there.
And
There's
then
resin
you send
already in there.
back part,
It comes
and you send the
preloaded.
books.
Oh,
So the
preloaded.
device,
That's how it works.
the device is from the one, right? Legendary Farms is my legacy brand. So we're saying that the material is from Legendary Farms, but the device is from the one. This device could be put anywhere.
Did you send me
Because
something
it's an
already?
ancillary
It's in
thing.
that text
Right.
group.
Right. So this could be used.
It's a PDF.
It passed all the tests for this one switch anyway. So you're gonna see this go soon. But right now we're bringing it out
The
as
text group needs
the legacy brand, just to put it
What
outside.
if we put trimming starts tomorrow?
So
In front of
you wanna try?
Yeah, give us a moment.
Press the
the
button.
in front of the ashtrays.
Just hit it.
Lay down.
Press it.
Ready
Ready to go.
What? What?
This one in the box.
Like an all
Tienes que
shot.
meterlo en la baja.
La que tú ves que está en casa ya. Así mismo.
Yo, I walked in, I was like, damn, I thought I was tiki shit.
And a different extract.
And that's why I asked you. I was like, yeah, los recogiste la de tiki.
But that's why, because you see how it takes a minute to
My only,
preheat.
my
I
only
didn't want-
suggestion for you, because remember, this is not me and him on the chopping block. It's more about you.
How's
You
that?
own the trimmer store. I will promote the
I
trimmer
like it
store.
like that.
Right.
Teach me how to use this.
Get those
You
water.
don't necessarily have to say Legendary Farms, but que sabe.
It's solid.
Because you already
It's solid. Now, the reason I even brought it, right?
You should. It's a device.
Well, I'm collaborating with them and I'm gonna start helping them basically brand the one to the whole East Coast. I'm going to Vegas to the Champ Show and I'm gonna be under the one, not Legendary Farm. You know what I mean? So I'm
So you
helping.
should promote the one,
Yes,
right? Because
yes,
this right here, you know what I mean? We be having regulars because you know you don't want to.
right. Right. Yeah, this is what we're gonna be talking about is the one. The one.
That bag in the back.
Legendary Farms is just, let's say,
That's
the
you, kiddo.
extract.
You could talk about whatever
Go to
you
remote again?
we go figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about all the legit shit.
Yeah, I mean we
That's how the
anything
mix-
anything we bring up, what you want to bring up, I would suggest that it's 10, 15 years, 20 years ago. Anything that
Right,
Don't matter if you got busy.
Right.
I suggest, because I know it's 7 years. For me and him, I'd rather go 10,
10 years
15,
behind.
whatever. Que vainita.
The haze.
They
the
can't really
haze
bring nothing up,
history,
you know what
the
I mean?
haze
Like-
history.
Oh, that right there.
Hey, the Nemo.
Yeah, everything Hayes is 20 years ago.
Nemo,
Don't forget
yeah,
that everything
Yeah,
Hayes
gas
is 20
station
years
right
ago.
there. The
That's
Nemo.
my bro.
What?
That's my brother.
Go next to the Fitzmans. How's that standing up?
That's my brother. I went to Colombia with him.
No
This boy
different.
Rich, they used to get
Yeah.
there with him.
Police al update.
Yeah, yo fui que llevé el
Pedazos
Nemo
todos.
to Patterson. I'm doing the infused Nemo line from those. The infused one. Yeah, the Nemo, bro. Patterson, hicimos un mundo con
We were
eso.
walking
Claro
by,
que sí.
walking by there, I was telling him, guy, they used to be lying to people for the Nemo.
Still,
Patterson is like
Yeah.
Lawrence, nigga. You heard?
still.
Not like
Wow.
This is lit.
Yo, bro. Go.
Eso es lo mismo que el Dutch.
You know, white band. Out here. Pasa por el lado a esa jeva que tú
Oh,
ves.
no,
Eso
him.
no
Oh,
va a
he's
ser
on-
paper,
oh,
eso no va a ser cigarrillo,
no,
eso no va a
no,
ser
no,
nada.
I don't know. He's gonna
It's
speak right in front of- I see him like-
Nah, but-
Menu.
A las 12 yo le quito lo más papel posible.
Yeah,
No
that's
puedo borrarlo,
It's take at least 15 minutes to go there.
You know what it is? I fuck with the backwards, pero loco, sí.
Backwards,
Sí,
backwards.
sí,
Nah,
backwards is bravo for me.
yo, I'm too aggressive. The
Yo
trimmer's
yo-
good.
yo
That's only
yo
for
tengo un
strong,
backward, yo hago
strong
una
runners.
tijera porque you know los veins, esa
Yeah.
vaina.
Bro, watch. I'm gonna hit this, bro. This is not aggressive, bro. Watch.
Oh, it's a
Mira.
real, like,
Hay tigres que le meten tanto gramo que eso es como fumarse un cigarrillo con un chingo de weed, man. What the fuck?
Yep.
Hay paisanas, nigga, para poder probarla, gente.
Nah, this weed you don't need to put.
Taste this.
You don't need like let me show you the
Now I know
lotto.
it is. I want to ask
Like that shit look like it has gravel in it. No necesita nada de eso.
Let me show you the-
I'm next
Bravo,
to a
libra esa vaina.
So
Eso
I have all the
lo que
machines.
fuman así,
for
vienen de Generation Baba.
Big show, nigga. picks and shovels, nigga. I love
You
all
know
that.
what it is? When I started growing, they taught me how to grow, but they was going mids. So I had to spice it up. If they started doing fire, I would have got used to that.
Con el bajo de la
Bro, I got enough.
Nigga was going mids.
10 minutes. No, I'm lying.
No,
90
but
pounds in like 30 minutes. It does 20 at a
It
time.
doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter how many minutes. The whole shit is in minutes.
Minutes. You can put 20 pounds at a time.
And it trims
It
everything.
used to take. It used
I
to
would
take.
say the
Niggas used to be
Like
there for days.
12
nigga. Con la
like
con la
12
tijerita,
pepitos.
nigga.
And me and my brother did
Hell yeah,
fucking
bro.
cut
Te duele la
30
mano.
pounds. My
No,
nigga. You know what I'm saying? For like
What about when you start just rushing it, just cortándole la masa?
La masa,
Like,
sí,
fucking
sí.
now machine that does 90 pounds in minutes. That shit is
That shit is a
crazy.
nightmare,
Big one.
bro.
This one right
That's
here.
why
That's
they
a trip,
that's why they used to
my
pay
nigga.
niggas mad bread for that
Yeah.
shit.
Was plugging.
Spent weeks in there
You
trying
know,
to
every
go.
mushroom.
That
Yeah,
shit
I
I
actually
see one of them
right.
shits. I see one of them shits.
I used to get on there like a mechanic.
Pa, eso está heavy, eso está bien.
La dejo un cuerito.
Vamos a dejarlo
Damn,
secar.
mushroom dao ahí.
And then
Mushroom down, nigga, for the
there's
love. Blunts, you know.
the cultivation brand
Bobbing with
out of
the
Massachusetts.
It's looking really good.
Advanced cultivation.
Sliding knuckles.
They're the
Oh,
first
Latino.
Latino
I think you enjoy that shit, bro.
cultivation.
And about the table.
Because it's like you're not doing like
And they
Como
just
eso
know
nunca
about
acaba.
all of them.
Claro, pasa hielo, tú.
Yup.
Nunca acaba.
Oye, mira, de que dame yo poner una.
Trimming and shit.
Best pre-roll,
They
best flower.
You know, manicuring.
I don't know if you follow my
Trying to
page,
get it like Steve Harvey from.
but I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
partnered
yeah,
up with them.
bonitica. No, no,
Like, damn, nigga.
So anybody
An hour
that,
passed
that
by,
needs
you
to
only
build
got 2
out
hours?
a facility, any
Quedan 10 libras.
SOP,
Yo, bro, I'm about
That spot that you went to.
anything involving cultivation.
That's where I had the little spot upstairs.
A to Z.
In that little corner where you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
do
yeah.
I got a team that right now.
no, porque el
The
hermano
basically
de
the
él
biggest
was
threat
coming
in
down
us
to
right
the
now.
Nobody else is
room,
coming in.
you know,
Ya
you
somos
don't
todos.
go private now, you don't go with that, so it was just getting too complicated. Y ahí, nigga, we put 75 plants.
And they're the first.
Damn, how many
Está
likes?
frío ahí, está
Huh?
frío, está frío.
Yeah, eso estaba chido.
How many likes?
Yeah, Bluefield, you know,
He's orange. I just moved back.
We
to the
had,
city.
he's orange. 30 lights on one.
Oh,
No,
damn.
what he got up there
No,
now?
Fairfield,
He just
Bluefield,
got, he
that.
just got
Oh,
upstairs. He got
okay,
2
yeah,
rooms.
yeah.
He got 2 rooms rented
Wanna
out,
see
and
those
then
two?
he lives in the
Best
one that we used to
cultivators?
grow
Locals.
Yeah.
I
But
brought
that's
those
still
down.
fine.
And then
same
the next
reason.
door, the next,
They're in
the brownstone
Massachusetts.
next door to
They
him,
want
that's
to
just
branch
been a
out
benefit.
to this side of the
So
coast.
he's
To
trying to
New
get
York,
that
to
shit.
New Jersey.
Ahí es que tiene todo,
So
todo,
now,
all the
in my,
equipment that we were
aside
using.
from my store,
trying
for
to
my
get all that
trimming
shit from
services, I'm
That's
adding
it.
on
Damn.
consultants,
We have that shit.
using them as back.
You remember the
Build
wet trimmer
out
one? The fan?
everything.
Yeah. Look, you remember
Construction,
that?
the electrical, the
Look, I even got a
irrigation.
line on this one.
A to Z, soy mexicano.
¿Sí puede ver la foto así?
Yo brother.
Oh, that shit, oh, cause there's no bloody and shit?
Nah, not
Easy,
like
una vaina out of this world, bro. Out of this
Yo,
world.
I was smoking. I got lucky, pero me dejó salir.
Man, nigga, that shit grew back.
Nigga. Oye,
Even good?
That's another little thing to that,
I took my nephew.
you know, and it's then from the tourists. I met those guys in the
Estaba limpiando yo
convention,
dije
man.
que
Like
for
this.
perfection.
Clay,
Like,
I
for
saw the
perfection.
machine,
Como
then I
algo así.
saw
The only thing
another
that-
one.
The only thing I'm hesitant on.
Vamos a salir
Those
otra
ones?
vez.
You had stitches, they gave you
Yeah,
stitches.
nigga. I'm like, they're like your friends. They came to act like yeah, on the inside, right? Yeah. You got so close.
I don't like peer pressure. So if you peer pressure me, I'm a family on 10 toes, nigga.
We need somebody that doesn't have a
Thank you, bro. Thank you. No, se me queda aquí venimos.
Oye, haz otro disco de sentimiento por la bocina.
Sentimiento por la bocina. Ya se me quedó.
It's hard and the shit.
So
Yeah.
de ahí vino
Yeah,
ese,
well,
ese
see,
That's one of those.
Okay.
add-on.
I took my nephew to work, right?
Nigga, chill.
And it all stems from,
Fucking get you.
Yeah, or the Trevor stuff.
no, it stems
Enseña, like, how
from
to use
when I was a
it.
baby.
Me moché el otro dedo.
That's what led me to it.
This finger?
It stems from pounds of hate.
Fan trimmer one? The wet trimmer?
It started off with
So you got two fingers that fucked up. Loco, yo le dije a mi mamá, construction, right?
I used to have a block.
Nigga, a la familia mía. Yo, they was making fun of me, nigga. Because I told them that I cut it off with a saw, working in construction. I cut these two fingers using the wedge, my nigga, bro. La familia mía dije, diablo, pero tú eres loco. My mom was telling me, yo, you gotta leave that job. Yo, she said, ay, pues ahí te voy a despellejazo. No, ya
I
was crazy. Look, the doctor took care of this, right? I said, fuck that. My mom took care of this one.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
I went from crossing the
We
bridge.
trying to perfect
Yeah,
para la gente.
right there.
Yo quiero saber bien for the people.
I'm
Yo,
saying,
when we got that pound, we said
That's a little piece of Frankenstein pound.
this one, let me see. I think the other day. 2019, this one.
The bud's looking good.
Yo, like,
Road's looking really good.
oh my
It's looking
God.
really good.
Man, look at you. Yo, that's the
And
shit.
that outside cam, everything's looking
I'm gonna
solid.
be real. Bro, yo lo estaba.
No Patterson. Came back to Jersey, to Dyke, man. Probably take it in
With a
Dyke,
girl.
man. Probably take it in
Y
the
tenía la cabeza en otro lado.
Yeah.
Because I used to, yo, so I'm saying, yo estaba.
When GJ Sawa took over,
Oh my Dios mío, eso.
there was a
Literally,
small.
Vamos entonces, vamos a cerrar ahí. Vamos.
Let's do it. The only like house rule is like if Jordan and I go like this, and he's just talking to the mic, get a little closer to the mic. We just even go like this. And phones on vibrate, do not disturb, silent, airplane mode. No, not airplane. If you're gonna get on Instagram, my nigga, put your volume all the way down before you open that shit, so we don't get no. You feel me?
Yeah, it's been rocking the whole time.
Nah.
Yeah, nigga on the laptop, brother.
Oh,
They
shit.
get the raw footage. That's the good.
Oh, damn, they just
the
scored
good
a
thing
bunch
about
of free
going.
game right
We got a
now.
bunch of free game, a bunch of shit, and then you know, in the next 15, 20 minutes, it's over. We shut it down, and you gotta go watch the podcast. But that's
Cojan ahí, oyeron.
Yo,
If not, there's no like.
llámame para ver si el teléfono.
Generation Baba, tú no te das viendo que está en el mejor clip que va a salir en la vaina. Está ahí con.
Yo, what's goody? Grasa, you already know.
Here, wait, look. Y'all can share it.
Mira ahí.
That's my brother.
Okay.
Brother. You know Edwin.
La
grasa, the legend.
Chill.
That's the new generation of
Chill.
growers right there. That's the new generation.
Yo.
Nigga, we need that.
Been working in the whole agriculture shit since 2010. My brother opened up Follow the Sun. Ahí que yo conozco a todos estos tigres. Esto es uno de los mayimbes más duros que yo he conocido en mi vida.
El chivo que más ve en la finca.
¿Ah?
El chivo que más ve en la finca.
Oye, ese es el papá de los pollitos.
Todo lo que más me.
Going right over here now. Let me hold so you can hold that.
Te buscamos, olvídate, son famosos.
Saben que los lighters no se respetan, los lighters de ahorita.
Chach.
Yes.
Oye, hasta para Super O, yo llegué a crecer en aquel tiempo.
Oh. Ahí fue que yo fui a hacer el coro el sábado para allá, para la vaina esa de la Red Bull, batalla.
Un tío de él tenía un building in the Bronx that had a store in the bakery. They gave us 6 floors, 2 apartments. You used to cross over to the roof like that. But I used to work with some knuckleheads there, bro, that I had to bail out. I said,
Let's turn off the TV and we'll get going. Showtime, we're looking good. It's my phone. Oh, press my phone. And whatever y'all was talking about off camera, let's bring that back. I feel like right away, so it's just fresh. You feel me? Quick intro to get back into the conversation I was having.
Okay. And feel free to speak English and Spanish. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely Spanish it out. All right, so we good?
Great.
Jordan?
Yep.
Jordan, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
My man Ed?
Good.
Estamos bien. La Grasa.
Yo.
Brother Anthony.
Yo, ready?
All right, my brother David. Curly Fries back in the house.
Let's get it.
Okay, Vlad.
Sazón, batería y reggaetón, vamos.
Miguel Angel. All right, let's go. Okay. You already know what's going on. It's the fucking Happy Monkey Podcast, and we here. You already know it's Ramon, the co-founder, creator, and you already know we got Vlad. And today, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and I'm glad Ed is here, right? Because this is the thing, right? The episodes that we've been doing with the legacy guys it was the beacon, right? I wanted those episodes to kind of shine out to the people out there, the guys who were outside, and
The history of
this
that
shit, right?
like we're being forgotten.
We want all you guys to kind of come out, and this was it right here, right? Because this was kind of like my thing, and this is what we get to do. What we got to do in the Speakeasy era, right, is introduce people to people that they probably didn't know, right? So this is always a pleasure of mine when we get to kind of introduce folks to maybe not someone who's new, but maybe someone who's new to you, right? And they've been in the game for a long time. And Jersey's in the building, ladies and gentlemen, today. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to let my Jersey people, you know, because Jersey folks was involved in the same history we was involved in. They was coming over here. There's Dominicans over there. Everybody was shaking and baking, baby. The tri-state was shaking and baking. We just happen to be in New York, which is the heart of New York cannabis in general. Just for me, because I'm biased, right? But today, ladies and gentlemen, we got someone who's the pinnacle of legacy to legal, right? Because this is what we talk about. We could talk legacy all day, which I love. We could talk history and trap shit all day.
What did you do with it, though?
What did you do with it now, right? So that, for me, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is bringing that aspect to the game. Because when we talk with me and Vlad, you know, we talk car talk, when we chilling, we talk. The game is legal now. Where you at? Where do you sit at? What are you doing? So, ladies and gentlemen, from the trap to the trap legal store now, you know what I mean? To the picks and shovels, right? Because we talk about all sorts of shit in the game, but people kind of forget there's other ways to enter this cannabis business, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of the New Jersey Trimmer store, because this is in New Jersey, our friend, you know, homie, recommended by the legacy folks, so we know he's legacy. I seen the articles. We go get deep. We go talking to all that. Our homie, your new homie, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Miguel Brito, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man. Yo, thank you for coming, man. And thank you to be willing to tell your story, right? Because this is kind of like one of our points. Like, yeah, we like to talk about our trap shit and all this other shit, but I love to hear and have people come out the shadows. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not in the shadows no more, but we kind of live that way. But you're not in the shadows. You're a CEO. You got your shit. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that, and let's introduce yourself, and let's let everybody know, you know, where your store's at and all this good stuff before we get crazy.
I mean, my name is Miguel. The Trimmer Store. We out of Fairfield, New Jersey. We specialize in trimming, processing, and everything that you need for harvesting. Basically, everything that somebody would need after they finish growing, from the trimmers to the sorters to the buckers to the press, we have it.
Let's go. Let's do it, man. So I know before we get into details and all this other shit, I know Vlad got some highlights that he got to tell everybody.
1,000%. So
let's get into that.
As y'all know, we're coming soon to a theater near you. Right now, Dykeman is going through his final phases of build out. So we're coming soon. Stay on the lookout for that. Use the merch promo code LISTEN and get 20% off. Please keep sending us the art for the podcast, for, you know, the love that y'all have for us. We appreciate it. And keep hitting that hotline and dropping those drops and telling us how you feel and what you're doing with your cannabis lifestyle.
Word. Love it, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, man. So before we get deep into everything and, you know, what you're doing now and shit, let's, you know, we like to take it back a little bit, and we like to start people off with something simple. We like to ask people, you know, give me your first experience getting high, my G. Like, you know what I mean? Was it a blunt? Was it a joint? Was it in 1988 with your Timbs on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you know, give me the whole story. What's going on? What was the music? Was merengue in the background? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando?
For me, it was probably 1998, the summer when DMX came out with the Stop
Drive. Yeah.
That summer for
Open
sure.
up shop.
That
real.
summer, I'll never forget that summer.
that
It
summer
was
was
definitely in a Dutch, Hayes. I was probably like in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade around that time. And we didn't know nothing, you know. Got put on, somebody rolled it for us. And it was Hayes. It was over from there. It started with Hayes and it ended with Hayes. It was always that.
I'll ask because, you know, I guess because I don't know if you was in Jersey, but, you know, for us, if most New Yorkers, if you didn't have somebody's apartment, you either did it in the building, in the rooftop, or in the basement of your building, in the back alleys or something. So how about in Jersey? What's the difference between Jersey? You did it in your mother's basement? Was it in the backyard?
You had to get low somewhere.
Somewhere you had to get low.
Now, for me, in those days, I was still living in the Bronx. Yeah, I was still living in the Bronx. So for my journey starts in the Heights. My parents moved us then to the Bronx. Went to school there. Basically, half of my life is in the north side of the Bronx. Shout out to my Gun Hill family.
Oh yeah, Gun Hill.
Sham City crew.
Yeah.
And for us, it was Oval Park. For those that know, we went back to Oval Park, which is right off of Gun Hill Road. And that's really where it began. But in those days, it was just, for me, it was just trying it. I wasn't really involved in it. I was, I was a kid. I was playing baseball. It was just, I was just tried it.
Like the rest of us.
Jersey came into play around 9/11. We moved to Jersey the summer of when 9/11 happened. So 01, the summer of 01, we moved to Jersey.
Hayes was king already at that time.
Yeah. So at that time, I was a sophomore in high school. And it was an easy transition because I already had my roots from the Bronx, from the Heights, family in the Heights. So coming into Jersey and Patterson, it was easy to make friends and kind of connect the dots.
A lot of Dominicans in Patterson, right?
Oh, yeah. In those days, it wasn't. When I first moved there was a handful, but it was mainly a lot of Puerto Ricans, Italians, Blacks, Jamaicans. It was a small group of Dominicans, but now it's predominantly Dominican. Probably like 80%.
Crazy.
So things have changed.
So before we turn on the camera, we were talking, and you know, Jordan, I guess correct me, catch me up if I'm wrong, right? But you guys were talking when ounces were $450.
$450.
Right? So we talking 2001, 02.
Yeah, 02, 03,
All right,
04.
So now the ounces is at $450. Oh man, so it's like a 0.5, 0.4
for sure.
gram, shit like that.
Yeah, in those times, so my first start, I would get a bundle, which was 50 dimes, 0.5 dimes.
You coming uptown for that?
I'm coming uptown for that. Because it was easy for me. I always had the access. You know, my cousins had blocks, my family was already in the mix, I had all my childhood friends from the city. So crossing the bridge and doing what I had to do was easy, right? And the way I started was 50 packs.
The dimes,
open my tennis ball in high school, put my 10 little dimes and walk around with my tennis ball. After school, I put it in the rim of the bike and rode around the blocks in my bike. And that's how I got my little.
How much are the dimes going for in Jersey?
$10.
$10 too?
But you could get off a 0.3 dime in Jersey.
Okay.
So that's we graduated from the dimes to the 20s with the dime staple. We were able to do the 0.7 dub with the 0.3 dime. Right. And it was a 20. So you got a 20 and a dime for $20. And that's how we got our first little break, right? In Jersey, getting our foot in the door. And obviously that elevated to serving ounces. In 2007, I ended up doing a bid in Jersey. It wasn't even bud related. I wish it would have been. I would have not did a bid, but I did a bid. Came home 2010. By the time I came home 2010, it's almost like I graduated from Jersey.
Right.
Because now I met dudes from Newark, Passaic,
I always tell
Jersey.
people that's like the university.
It definitely was.
Where you get your, you come home with your diploma, and now you got to meet people from all over the place.
No, I went in a junior, came out with a master's degree. I came home with a master's degree. So no, I'm serious. By the time I came home, 2010, everybody was already steering towards the sour. I still had ties with a lot of the Cubans that were still growing real haze from Miami. All they did was haze. You know what I mean? So I was still getting haze from the Cubans, haze from my bros. And I was one of the few people that still kept the haze when people were straying away from it.
He's talking real haze, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I can attest. He brought a little something here in the box that we'll show y'all in a minute. But yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So anybody that knows me, that's the first, people that haven't seen me for a while. That's the first question they ask me when they do see me. Yo, what's good with the haze? You still got the haze? Because that's what I held on to.
Yeah, Mom.
That's what I held. That's what I held on to, and that's what worked for me, right? So by the time I came home, 2010, the access to these things was still there, and it was easy for me to now come to Patterson and just
flood the hood
everywhere. Came back, Dykeman, the Heights, the Bronx, everywhere where I knew somebody that was still somewhat in the game.
Yeah.
I tapped in with, and I was the only guy that still had that haze that some people still look for.
Now we know, we all Dominican. We know that, Dominican families are mad conservative when it comes to smoking weed. At the beginning, when you first started smoking and being involved, how your family looked at weed.
Oh no, I still remember to this day when I had to
fumando droga.
Yeah, when I had to have that conversation with Pop Dukes, and he sat me down and he was like, "Mi hijo, ¿qué te está pasando?" And I was
like that serious talk, like
he wasn't even mad.
Yeah, he wasn't
concerned.
Even mad. He was
more hurt.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you having problems? Like, what's going on, man? You don't need that. Right. You don't need that in your life. Like, and my father, shout outs to my pops, man. Like, I had a beautiful upbringing because I had a real responsible father, man. Like,
that's dope.
He held it down, so he didn't deserve that.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't deserve that. So at the time, that was a big deal to even have that conversation. Like I didn't let my father know I was smoking till I was a grown ass man. You know what I mean? Because out of respect, I just couldn't look at him in the eyes and
take that shit serious.
Yeah, so it was definitely in the beginning, siempre with a Visine.
Holding it down.
Open food, man, a different t-shirt, a switch over. It was definitely the whole, because we grew up respecting our family, respecting our elders, our parents, our grandparents, and we still hold that, in the
that's why I mentioned it, because now you even now you see that cannabis is like accepted everywhere, in America a lot, but Dominicans is still like, they still wrapping their head around it. Absolutely. The Dominicans is still like, bueno, hijo. They're like, yo, but I mean, even for me, like, we talk about this, all the time. Like my situation was like, my mom hated that we smoked for a long time and dealt with drugs and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Until she started actually seeing my business cards, with her coworkers and shit like that, coming to our parties and stuff like that. That's what kind of changed everything, right? Because things are going legit. She saw that it was legal. She's like, all right, my son is doing something. But it takes a while,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
It took all of us forever until we became adults. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It feels good to have something my mom could say, with her head up high, say this is what my son does, without worrying about somebody shaming or because at one point it was definitely something that was down in my family.
Of course, man. They look down on you for it.
Yeah.
So how did you get into cultivation and growing legacy, legal, whatever part?
So after, I always told myself, right, that I was gonna do this up to a certain point. That I was gonna keep getting
exit plan.
Right, like I couldn't keep flipping somebody's packs forever.
Right.
So when I got my money up, that I had a few dollars, that I had, now ability to invest, I approached everybody that I was getting work from and was like, listen, this is what I have to bring to the table. How can I get in? If there was no room for me to get in, I needed to move on. So I was chasing that. I was chasing that level up for myself, right? It wasn't anything towards anybody. It was something within me. Like, I felt like I reached a point that I did what I had to do. I obtained a few things. Right, I obtained a few things. I bought houses. I did a few, I completed my mission. So now I felt like it was time to take it to the next level. So one day, it's funny because I was in Mexico, bro, for my birthday. And I met somebody who had a grow in Colorado. and I always wanted to go
Mexico. That's
and I always wanted to go out there. So I took that opportunity, meeting him.
Where you was at in Mexico?
In Cancun, in the Hard Rock.
Cancun, the Hard Rock.
So I was hanging out. I meet this guy. He's a grower in Colorado. I ended up going up there with my brother Ant, and that's how that began. That's how that opportunity in Denver. So that's how that opportunity presented itself, and I didn't hesitate to go full force. And it was during the pandemic. So when the opportunity came that I could learn how to grow, that somebody was willing to teach me A to Z, open book, and put me in a spot, I literally packed up a U-Haul and drove across the country with all my shit and went down to Denver, bro.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You ran with it.
So I just jumped out the window, bro, and I just left.
How was that experience?
A roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. It was full of highs and lows. That's the
Dominicans in Colorado.
Yeah, facts. And now they know who we are.
There you go. Before we move forward, because I know Vlad is, Mr. Dominican Walter Carcrack over here. He's gonna go hard. Can we show? I know a lot of people smoke weed, but can we show what a half a P?
Oh, absolutely.
If you was going uptown 1999, 2000, if you were lucky to be sold a half a P, this is what it would look like.
And you gotta pay like 32, 34, 3500 for it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was the numbers back then.
It ain't come in the sealer bags that we all get now. It
just
came
like
in this half a pound and this shit right here. And it had to look like this. And the weed had to be up here or more, fam. You heard? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was, this is when it came in. Just real quickly, I just wanted, because I like to show off haze.
And I got the haze holds a special spot in my heart because for me, this is where it starts. This is where my story starts, right?
It's the game for you.
This is where it starts, right? The first thing I ever smoked was haze. The first dime bag I ever sold was haze. The only pounds that I even got into when I was in that side of the game was haze. So for me, haze is everything. Haze is
the foundation of
your
whole cannabis career.
I remember when I first went to Colorado, that's one of the things I said proudly. I come from the home of the haze. When I was educated,
because they don't grow haze.
No, they don't know.
Well, now they do.
And they know nothing about Washington Heights.
It's not that haze.
No, it's not.
Nah. So that was one of the things I was proud to bring to the table when I met people, when I came across people out there, is kind of introducing them not only to myself, but where I come from and who we are and what we bring to the table as far as what we are establishing in New York City. Because a lot of people think about Times Square. They don't know what New York City.
96 to Wall Street, that's what they think.
Right. So I was proud to be able to describe where I was from and what we do and the impact we have on this game. Right.
So what did you learn over there? What was what culture shock that really, helped you, look at things differently over there from a growing perspective over there in Colorado?
I mean, it was night and day, bro. I went from being a city boy to a farmer. In a 40-acre farm with chivos.
You got your 40 acres and a mule, baby.
Oh man, I was in a farm. Learning real, farmer terminology. So I was in a farm, bro. Just that's the best way I could describe it. I was in a farm.
So now it's real horticulture shit.
I was in a farm,
how to live off the land type of shit.
For sure.
No going to 7-Eleven if you need some quick Dutch or some bullshit. It's farm shit.
Farm shit, bro. Farm shit. Chickens off the from the little rooster hen from the spot from where the chickens are. That's where you get your eggs. So that was definitely a culture, shock for me. But I think my previous experiences, going to jail, being on the run, and all those situations where I found myself alone and having to figure it out and keep moving forward alone, being in Colorado was just another one of those situations. So it wasn't that much of a transition for me to adapt to that. It was just a new environment, but it was the same type of figuring it out on your own.
Sink or swim.
Right. And I'm glad I went through that because it definitely taught me a lot. It definitely brought me back a stronger person and a more knowledgeable person, 100%.
So how we go from that to you getting into growing legally, the trimmer store, and etc.? How do you go from
yeah. You could have picked a bunch of shit, right? You could have went into Southern Weed because Jersey's legal. You could have went into a bunch of shit. Why picks and shovels, like we were talking about earlier, right?
Right.
And what is the trimmer store, right? Let's
Exactly.
This is really interesting. Yeah, right.
So the trimmer store specializes in processing and harvesting. So everything you do after you grow, from drying, curing, trimming, sorting, pressing, bucking, everything that is done, every process that is done after the plant is grown, we have equipment to assist with that. We lease them, we sell them. Aside from that, we're also doing consulting. So if somebody wants to do a full build out, if somebody needs SOPs for growing, we have a full team of growers that will set up an entire facility.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
I love this.
Shout out
You
to
know,
my
the
boys, Advanced
Dominicanos
Cultivators.
getting busy. David, this ain't like they not trying to just sell weed and shit. They getting busy, nigga.
So like Ramon said, but why, coming from Colorado, did you feel like that was a good business and there was something there that wasn't being filled the void or whatever you felt?
So for me, I'm gonna say I stumbled upon it because I found myself, so I was growing in Colorado, right? I got a license to grow my medicine. I got a medical card that I could grow my medicine in Colorado. I have a 40-acre farm with a facility that I grow my medicine. I found myself with the problem that most growers have, trimming all of that work. So I started researching different options and I came across the trimmer store because it started in Colorado. So the founder of the trimmer store started in Denver, Colorado. So found the store, went as a customer. I literally rented each machine that he had, each one, from the biggest one to the smallest one, and I used them myself. From renting machines and being a customer, I built a relationship with, at that point, the founder, the owner. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Greg. We built a rapport. And I had the guts to one day say, yo, what's good, man? Let's open one in New York, bro. You know, I'm from New York. Just like that, in that same accent. And in his accent, he was like, for sure, let's do it. Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Called your bluff.
Kind of called my bluff, right? So, you know, one day I came back on a trip from Colorado and I was just thinking about it. And that's when everything was starting to get legal here. They were starting to, you know, the ballots are going up. And I was like, you know what? If there's a time, it's now. Went back to Colorado, rented a U-Haul, packed up all the equipment, signed agreements, spoke to lawyers, worked it out, and said, yo, we doing the trimmer store in New Jersey. So to answer your question, I came across the trimmer store by having a problem. I decided to be bold enough to ask the founder, like, what's up? Let's expand it. Let's take it to my hometown.